I did a review of Satori Reader about 6 months ago, and of course you'll remember that the only critique I actually had of the app in general was the review system, which you've said numerous times has been a sort of a pain point for users and yourself. And you've recently done a big revamp of the review system, and I'd love if you could tell us a little bit about that.
So one of the big things that people kind of got themselves into trouble with the review system was that you could create an unlimited amount of cards that were due immediately. So you'd go through a story and create 20 cards and be like, wow, this is so cool. I got some new vocabulary to learn. And then you'd go review it and you'd see each of those cards one time and maybe you get some right and you get some wrong, but you're still feeling energized. You go back to another study article and you create 20 more cards, and now those are all due with the due date of now. So when you go back to your review system, those have priority, and so you see them before you see the other ones, and that cycle can continue such that new cards are constantly sort of elbowing out all of the cards that you had actually started to review and really should be focusing on, so that you don't just get out into this like thin ice situation where everything is just, you barely kind of recognize it, right? It would be better if we could kind of stick with a set of 20 or something like that until it's pretty solid, and then kind of allow those to move off and allow some new ones in. So in the new system, we basically created the concept of 3 buckets. And one is this queued bucket where new cards come in. And then you've got this bucket, which is the cards that you're actively working on. And there's a throttle between the queued and the active buckets. Actually, they're called stacks. We call them stacks in Satori Reader. So cards can come into your active review stack up to a point. It's a configurable number. Then no matter how many additional new cards you create, they'll just kind of wait for you in the queued stack. So that way you can just focus on what you're working on and not worry about being overwhelmed by this fire hose of new cards. And then
today you have 1,000 reviews to do, right?
Yes, we do. We do have users with thousands of cards, and
I believe it.
Some of those users actually literally have more than 1,000 cards due like that day. So I did feel the pain once I started really looking into the situation some people had gotten themselves into. But yeah, so now you work on cards and you have the option of working on just ones that you've started, or if you've created a little bit of budget by helping some of those cards to graduate out, you can also bring in some from the queued stack. And so that's one of the big improvements. And then the other big improvement, as I was developing this whole thing, I thought, maybe we should allow a card to eventually leave the review system. I know that the original idea behind space repetition in Anki is that, the card stays with you forever. And, you eventually, you see it like once every 3 years or something like that.
This word.
And that has value. You can still do it that way if you want. But I started to worry that, if people are using the system long enough, that they might end up with this just massive backlog of cards that sometimes come due all on
randomly.
The same day.
Oh my God.
And so I wanted to say, hey, wouldn't it be cool if you could just say that the card is graduated? I mean, especially when you meet it in the context of a story, I think it sticks in your brain longer. So maybe 8 consecutive correct interactions with that card is maybe enough. So
makes sense. I've noticed on Satori Reader there's a lot of repetition in a good way. Like you'll have in one story you have a new word and then it shows up 2 episodes later and stuff. I don't know if that's intentional or not. I'm assuming it is, but
it is.
That just builds on the space repetition, so you get the double whammy there. So I agree. Seeing it in context. So much better than just a straight card.
It does. It adds. I don't know. It just puts it somewhere else in your brain.
It puts like a link to it. Yeah, like when you hear it and it immediately links back to the place you heard it last.
Yes.
I know what you're talking about. Yes. It's a cool little phenomenon.
So I hope that people are experiencing that with Satori Reader.
I think they are. I know I am when I'm reading the stories. There's been quite a few words. I know when you were talking about the review system, I think I had I think I got up to close to 400 cards waiting for review in the old system. I've been playing with it a little bit. I've got a nice little setup going. I'll show people on screen during the video. But yes, very, very awesome update.
Oh,
I think
cool.
it's great.
Thank you. Thank you. I was really worried. We've got a few other customers that have written in saying that they like it. So, yeah, thank you so much for the help.
Yeah, no. I'm impressed. Great job.
Thanks.
When do you think we'll be seeing this on mobile?
Okay. Great news. I was actually working on that like today.
Nice.
Yeah. Got a few things coming to mobile in this next update. You might have noticed that we added a way to sort the tiles on the series screen by in like difficulty groups.
Yeah.
So that and another view of the series tiles that shows our current schedule, our release schedule. Those two plus the SRS improvements are all coming in the next update.
Nice.
So that should be probably like later this month. I was making pretty good progress today. I am taking a couple days off on vacation later on next week. But,
That's important.
But yeah, I think there shouldn't be a problem getting it out this month.
Nice. Sounds great. I can't wait.